Each morning, the alarm was a small death. Maya felt a piece of her soul wither as she slapped the screeching device into silence. It wasn't the work she dreaded. She was a talented graphic designer, and she loved the puzzle of translating a client's vague desire into a vibrant, compelling visual. No, the dread was reserved for the journey. The 90-minute commute was a purgatory of taillights and rage, a Sisyphean ordeal where she rolled the boulder of her car forward only to have it roll back again in an endless cycle of congestion. Her small, silver sedan was a cage of frustration. Every red light was a personal insult. Every slow-moving truck was a conspiracy orchestrated by a universe that had it out for her. She would white-knuckle the steering wheel, her jaw clenched into a permanent ache, mentally composing furious emails to city planners who had clearly never driven on their own roads. The talk radio she blared only fed her anxiety, a constant stream of traffic updates confirming her imprisonment. By the time she pulled into the office parking garage, she was a live wire, her morning coffee curdled into a toxic soup of stress. The workday began with her already defeated. One Tuesday, it was apocalyptic. Overnight rains had flooded 2 key underpasses, and a multi-car accident had turned the main highway into a parking lot. Maya's GPS glowed an angry, solid red line. The estimated arrival time ticked upward with a sadistic glee. She was going to be late for a crucial presentation to a new, high-profile client, the kind of client that could define her year. Panic, cold and sharp, tightened her chest. Her heart hammered against her ribs like a trapped bird. She pounded the steering wheel with the heel of her hand, a scream of pure, impotent fury trapped in her throat. It was in that moment of peak frenzy, surrounded by a symphony of honking and the relentless drumming of rain, that a fragment of memory surfaced. It was a quote from a mindfulness app she'd downloaded and then deleted in a fit of impatience, dismissing it as woo-woo nonsense. It was from some old Zen master. The obstacle is the path. It sounded infuriatingly simplistic. What does that even mean? She thought, her internal voice a snarl. The traffic is the obstacle. The path is also the traffic. It's a tautology. It's a circle of nonsense. But she had tried everything else. Leaving earlier just meant more time in the car. Leaving later meant more time in the car. Aggressive driving only raised her blood pressure and earned her hostile glares. Fighting it had brought her nothing but a permanent state of low-grade misery. A profound exhaustion washed over her, deeper than any tiredness from lack of sleep. It was the exhaustion of a war she could not win. Fine, she muttered to the universe, to the sea of red brake lights, to the rain, to herself. Her shoulders slumped, releasing a tension she had carried for years. Fine, you win. This is where I am. This is all there is. She took a breath, a real one, deep into her diaphragm, feeling her ribs expand. Then another. She reached out and turned the blaring radio off. The sudden silence was jarring, a physical presence in the car, broken only by the rhythmic swish-swish thump of her windshield wipers. For the first time, she stopped fighting the commute and started observing it. She noticed how the rain beaded up on the windshield, each droplet a tiny, trembling universe. They would quiver, gather neighbors, and then, with a critical mass, streak down the glass in a frantic, beautiful race. She watched the way the brake lights of the car in front of her reflected on the wet asphalt, creating a long, shimmering river of crimson that pulsed and flowed. She saw the different grays of the sky, the steely gray near the horizon, the bruised, purple gray of the rain clouds above, and the soft, wool gray of the distant fog. She wasn't trying to enjoy it. That would be another form of striving, another goal to fail at. She was just there, present. Her gaze drifted from the macro to the micro. The man in the pickup truck next to her was singing along to a country song with utter, unself-conscious abandon, his face animated and joyful. A woman in the minivan ahead was patiently, lovingly, braiding her daughter's hair in the back seat, a small island of tenderness in the metallic sea. Life was happening, all around her, in 1,000 little dramas, and she had been too blinded by her own frustration to see any of it. The next day, she did it again. No radio, just breath and observation. She noticed the changing quality of the light as the seasons crept forward. She saw the stubborn dandelions pushing through cracks in the concrete median. She felt the subtle vibration of the engine through her seat. No longer an irritant, but a simple fact. The honking of horns became just sound. The slow crawl became just movement. The internal monologue of panic and impatience, which had once been a roaring waterfall, quieted to a murmuring brook, and then, for precious minutes at a time, fell silent. A week into her experiment, she was stopped at a particularly long light near the city's bridge. Her gaze drifted over the geometric patterns of the downtown office buildings, the stark lines of the older brick structures against the shimmering, blue glass curves of the new skyscrapers. The morning sun, finally breaking through the clouds, caught the edges of the glass and steel, turning them into brilliant, sharp lines of gold. A thought, clear and fully formed, hopped into her head. It was a solution to a layout problem for the very client presentation she had been late for the week before. The client wanted a design that felt both established and innovative. Stumped, she had been creating muddled compromises. Now, looking at the cityscape, she saw it. Use a classic serif font for the headers, the brick laid over a dynamic, fluid background of abstract color and light the glass. It was simple, elegant, and directly inspired by the harmony of old and new she was observing right outside her window. She arrived at work that day not drained and irritable, but calm and focused. She went straight to her desk, opened her design software, and her fingers flew across the keyboard. The design came together in 20 minutes. When she presented it, her boss was thrilled. "Maya, this is brilliant. It's exactly what they were asking for. You've outdone yourself." The praise felt good, but the deeper satisfaction came from the quiet knowledge of its origin. She had gone looking for a way to survive her commute. Instead, she had found something she had lost: her capacity for wonder, her connection to the world, and with it, a wellspring of her creativity. She realized the Zen teaching wasn't a circle of nonsense. The obstacle, the frustrating, time-sucking traffic had indeed become the path. It was the very thing that, once she stopped resisting it, had taught her how to be present. It had forced her to be still, to look, and to listen. The 90 minutes she had seen as stolen from her life had, in fact, given a richer, more profound quality to all the other minutes. She was no longer just commuting from point A to point B. She was traveling, and for the first time, she was truly on the right road. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more content that can help change your perspective. See you next time.